Hello, everybody.
How are you? Have you got all your candy done? Are you got your costume fixed up?
Yes, this Leo rising is I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio with my family, and there is no sun, so I thought I'd bring the sun to the area. Hi, everybody. Welcome to November's forecast 2021. So we made it this far, right, Susan? Yay, we made
Yeah.
it this far in 2021. It's hard to believe that it's this far along in the year. And to me, this month we'll go through every single day that there's a transit. But this is I call this month from testy to tasty. So this is a kerfuffle month that we'll talk more about.
Yeah.
So we want to ask everybody, where are you from? Jane,
Hi,
woohoo!
Jane.
Where are you checking in from? Do you have your cheat sheets? Let us know where you are. I am Sandy Leo Rising Reeve.
And I'm Susan Pumpkin Gidel today. No witch for me today. I decided to switch it up, even though I love being a witch.
I do love being a princess as I was last year, but when I got to my mom's house, I searched and found her costume.
That's very cool.
So I thought, and she even had the sparkly shirt. So I was like, yay, Pamela from Colorado. Welcome. Yeah, thanks, Jane. Of course you would. Um, so, here we are on the verge of this Halloween weekend and November 1st, which really from the All Saints Day to the All Souls Day, we do have this area of, Holocaust period where the veil is very thin.
Do you want me to read the overview you have on the cheat
Yeah,
sheet, Sandy?
yeah.
It says November, and these are Sandy's words. November begins a new season of lunar eclipses. Lunar eclipses are a synchronistic time to be aware of unconscious or unprocessed emotions that rise to the surface. With 2 generational planets in retrograde, 4 personal planets ingressing into new signs, and no stations, this month is perfect for recognizing any internal projections as they play out in the surroundings. Look through an observer's lens at the more challenging issues at hand, and if you do find something interesting, keep moving and integrate it. Now is not the time to stall or overthink.
So we're going to find out the middle of this month is testy.
Yeah.
We're going to, all of the most of the planets are moving into the fixed areas and making that aspect really creating that T square with that already happening Saturn Uranus square that has been in play all year. Which reminds me that Susan and I are having 2 more webinars this calendar year. The next one is November 10th at 5:30. Alex will put the link in here or watch your emails. In this, we're going to be talking about the final pass of the Saturn Uranus square and what this means, and really reflecting on the first pass that we had in February, the second one that we had mid-year, and the one that's finishing on December 24th. So this has been in action all year, and what have we drilled down? And we're going to be having this webinar, so keep your eyes out for that. Our next webinar that we're having December 8th is about the Jupiter moving into Pisces, yay, permanently, and the Venus retrograde, which Venus will retrograde mid-December, about the 18th, and stay retrograde for 40 days and 40 nights. So we'll have comments on that and watching that. So those are the two upcoming things that are going on that Susan and I are hosting. I personally, on my website, have the generational malas available. We have been working on those for several years, and it takes a minute for me to make the talisman clay beads for them to get to my mom, who then strings the wood beads, and then back to Alex to finish the tassel. And so those are available, and they're very colorful and very meaningful. So check that out on our website. And anything you have, Susan?
Well, just that, and we'll get to it later with the link that I think Alex has queued up here, but next weekend, on Sunday, the 7th, I'm on 2 different programs for the NCGR virtual symposium, a panel discussion in the morning with a couple other financial astrologers, and then my own presentation about the Saturn-Uranus square, but strictly from a financial perspective, later in the afternoon at 3:35 Central Time. So sign up for those and attend the whole conference. And there was a question last time about whether you could just get my presentation later, and the answer is yes. And I think it's $25, and it will be on the NCGR YouTube channel. I'm not quite sure how it works, but the answer is yes. You can get one-off recordings from NCGR after the fact, but I think they only stay up in their YouTube site for 6 weeks. So at any rate.
Good information. Thank you for doing that research. Also, we are having our Halloween costume contest today. So throughout this next, 43 minutes or 53 minutes, you have your option to post on Facebook's page, our Intention Beads page, your costume, whether you're wearing it currently right now, or you've worn it in the past, or you've taken a picture of what you're wearing on Monday night. And Susan and I at the end will each pick our favorite costumes. Thank you for all those who have sent in their costumes so far. We've taken a look at it, but you still have option to get a photo onto Facebook. Alex will put on a little comment here on how to do that. And there's prizes, and we're giving it out a free monthly cheat sheet either this month or next month. And we're also giving out one of the free webinars, whether that's this November one or the December one. So, it's worth throwing on and fun to stay in the theme of the season. So we welcome you to do that. And we'll call that at the end of our hour.
So we better get rolling.
Yeah, because we're going to probably stay in the center here and talk for a hot minute around the Mars entering Scorpio and making some aspects and creating a testy period. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go. Let's get into it.
So Tuesday, November 2, Mercury in Libra square Pluto in Capricorn. And to me, that says this is a time where you're able to negotiate what you want. It's not necessarily easy, but there's some back and forth, and you can get things accomplished.
Yeah, I call this obsessive thinking. It's the Mercury, the conversation, the thoughts, the ideas, the negotiations, the agreements is square. So, edgy, testy, to Pluto, the big power source. And, today, say what you really mean, and then think about it. Am I being mean, or am I being meaningful? So those words can actually hold that same obsessive thought process. It's like, know the difference here, because your words can get sticky, and once you have said them, they cannot be removed. So be careful of, you're wanting to get to the truth here. you're needing to have persuasive conversations, but check in on how you're going to derive that or get your message across. Yeah, this to me is we start out, boom, with that square to Pluto.
Yeah. Wednesday, November 3, Mercury moves out of its shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, at 25 Libra. I have it in my calendar to go to the Apple store and get a new computer.
Oh, good. That's a perfect way to do that because it's moving into new territory. And
Yep.
it hasn't been in new territory since September 7. So that's we're looking at almost a 2-month period where the planet of communication and mechanical cars or electric things like your refrigerators or your washers and dryers, it doesn't get to be new. So if you've been looking for purchasing something new after this date on the 3rd.
And I'm really excited about getting a new computer.
Yay, good. Yeah, you should be.
So Thursday, November 4, a new moon at 12 degrees Scorpio at 4:15 p.m. Central.
Mm-hmm.
And I always like to start my new moon comments with the word intend, that of course I learned from my friend Sandy when we were doing new moon circles. And this one is the new moon in Scorpio. I'm kind of like, I have a soft spot for the new moon in Scorpio because my moon is in Scorpio. Intend to dig deep into your own mysteries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I call this testy and active. This is kind of taking the will and the act. So this is, when we talk about Scorpio, that means the sun is in Scorpio, the moon swings around, meets the sun in Scorpio at 12 degrees. Now, if we know a little bit about and this is a fixed placement. So this is the first aspect on the 4th that we're getting this month in that 12 degree zone, because what else is at 12 degrees? Uranus. And we'll talk about that because this is literally just an hour or two later. And so they move together. But this is another lunation that is conjunct Mars, and Mars being the ruler of Scorpio. And Mars is conjunct this lunation because Mars now is in Scorpio, ruler of. So Mars is very, very strong. In fact, if you remember last month when Mars moves into 0 to about 7 degrees of Scorpio, has his most powerful, resourceful play. Now he's at 12 degrees here. So he's still powerful and resourceful, but not as much as he was earlier in the say week ahead. But this is since August 2 that this is the full moon that we had in August 21 that the Mars was in play. So we don't really get away from this Mars until next month in December, that we get the new moon that is not related to Mars. So these last few lunations of the full or new moons have involved Mars for the last couple months. And, here Mars is in, we'll talk about that when he's opposing this Uranus. So this is like, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite. And particularly from my chart, not my favorite. So we'll get through that as we do so many other non-favorite times in our lives.
Well, and on the same day, then the sun, like you said, because it's a new moon, the sun and the moon are together. This is when the sun opposes Uranus exactly at 12. The sun at 12 Scorpio, Uranus retrograde at 12 Taurus, and with Uranus and Taurus, that can be about financial things, and the sun opposite that could be not so pleasant financial surprises. the potential for that. Like you say, Sandy, particularly with that Mars involved too.
Yeah, I say something is revealed. All secrets are hidden, messages hidden are unveiled now. The surprise or agitation of these waters, where the sun is in a water sign of Scorpio, become agitated. It's almost like it's this what do we call, like I don't want to say tsunami, but it's kind of like the undercurrent is being energized. It's a whirlwind under the surface. So unknown and discoveries. Uranus is about discoveries, and Scorpio sun is about what's hidden underneath. So it feels like it's something is driving up. Woo. So yeah, the sun here is going. Okay, Alex told me to do that. Okay, so let's go to Friday the 5th.
Yeah.
And this is Venus now is going into the next sign, and that's Capricorn. And, I think that this is at 5:44 a.m. Central Time. And she moves into her triplicity rulership in a day chart. So this is like checking in on relationship statuses, get serious about something, put those relationships, those goals, those things that you're wanting to work on, put them on the front burner and take them off simmer and take the lid off and let things start, moving in a way that is more concrete. You want to kind of bubble out that the water, let's say, that you have put in, or the liquid. You want to bubble that out. You want to get to a form, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, Venus is still out of bounds here. And so to me, Venus in Capricorn is the ideal time to put some structure around your finances. So it's good. It's really great for budgeting. It's really great to just get a handle on where all your money is, how you spend it, how you get it, what you want to invest in, things like that. Particularly long-term investments, because it's Capricorn. And you can go wild with this because Venus is out of bounds. Venus doesn't really have a lot of rules at the moment when it's out of bounds. So, you can kind of think outside the box and be, in essence, aligned with that out of box Saturn in Aquarius too. Even though, Venus has moved into Saturn's other sign, Capricorn, that really wants like real rules. I think the out of bounds aspect of Venus can let you be a little more imaginative on how you deal with money.
Yeah, that's a good point, because we also have to think about, as she moves into this Capricorn, she stays put.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is where she retrogrades. Now, she retrogrades here and stays here till March 6th or 7th, depending where you are. So she stays for 4 months. Normally, she is in a sign for 3 to 4 weeks. Big difference. So really, kind of checking, you have a period of time to check in. And when she retrogrades in the middle of December, that is when we become more internal. So, this is still her external movement. She's moving forward. She's not in her shadow yet. We'll mark that. But know that she's here for a while. So it's like kicking off shoes, getting serious, staying in the area of discussion that you are going to be in for a period of time. Yeah. So in Susan, what you say about, checking in outside the box, getting information, at least pulling it in and staying there to see how you can work this in long term.
Yeah.
But the same day, literally just a little bit later in 12 hours later, 12 hours later, Mercury moves into Scorpio. So here comes, of course, we know the sun and Mercury stay very close to one another, and Mercury's following the sun now. So this has, Mercury has less authority in Scorpio, but this is where the emotions deepen. And this is where you can release hurt feelings. Maybe it's appropriate through therapy, meditation practices, or having that difficult conversation right? If we're talking about relationships, it doesn't necessarily mean just intimate, romantic, lover, sexual type relationships. It's all, family. I'm in Cincinnati here with my brother having just had brain surgery. And for everybody that is asked, he's surgery, almost 8 hours, went better than expected, but his recovery is slow process. He is also a Scorpio. So I was expecting that. But whatever is the difficult conversation needs to be put on the table, right? Let's serve it up.
And not only that, I mean, related back to the Venus and Capricorn, and like you say about relationships, a good time to have them with those committed relationships, Venus and Capricorn, things that last a long time, relationships that are committed, that are very Capricorn-like. They're with you for a long time. But Mercury and Scorpio, they can go deep. You can go. Scorpio wants to find the truth, and it is willing to dig and dig and dig and dig until it gets to the bottom of something. And so Mercury and Scorpio let you do that with your communications. So
yeah. So again, it's be ready for those, right? Power up, because even those people in your lives that aren't following astrology will be feeling this energy, but you'll have that that little star on your lapel that says, I expected this. I knew, I'm prepared. I'm ready to have these conversations. And we're still only on the 5th of the month.
yeah, and can initiate them.
Right. So whatever has been hidden needs to come to light.
Yeah.
Okay. Saturday, the 6th, we have this Mercury is now making a sextile to Venus. Now these are as a sextile. So it's about taking the opportunity. And I call this, it's tasty. Where connections are easy. You're easy to relate to constructive agreements or constructive discussion. At least try. And, I wanted to bring up, so funny that I'm talking about my brother, Greg, who is the one that had the surgery. This is a quick story and I want to tell it because I want to give an homage to my brother. When we were little and we would go to my aunt's house and she would always make the sweet potatoes, right? This gooey, marshmallowy kind of thing. And he hated sweet potatoes and he thought that looked terrible. And she offered him a quarter, a 25 cents if he would taste it. He took the challenge. He, to this day, loves sweet potatoes. His wife has to make this throughout the year on a 25-cent bet. And this is where I want to say, like, put something down in exchange for that quarter. What will you try to do? So come up with a deal. Like, if it's, hey, if you do this, I'll do that. That's kind of where these two can work out well in their placements.
See, and I'm so glad you said bet, because Saturday, November 6th is when all the big Breeders' Cup races are. And so Mercury racing, Venus female, I say bet on the fillies for Breeders' Cup races. I'm going to look for them in particular.
That is, you guys, we share our cheat sheet, right? When I write it, she adds, and then all of our other notes, we don't discuss until we get right here. So I think it's pretty cool.
But it's a $2 bet at Breeders' Cup. And it's on TV, so it's easy to do.
Yeah, and it's the 25-cent inflation to $2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Sunday the 7th, we have daylight savings time, ends at 2 a.m. We all know this. Thank God our phones do it automatically. But I wrote here, oh, no more savings. Oh, we can't save time anymore. So we're going to plain old standard, right? Like, who wants the nothing exciting about that, right? But we shall find ways. Let's keep going. Turn the page. All right, Wednesday the 10th.
Wait. And Sunday the 7th for me is when I'm on the NCGR program. So we'll be talking financial astrology And the whole program, it runs for both Saturday and Sunday for NCGR. It's all focused on the Saturn Uranus square, and I'm going to talk about that specifically. So
yeah, that's worth getting your $25 out for
yeah,
sure. Okay, we probably need to. I haven't gotten any message from Alex to say speed up, but I'm thinking
but we
should.
probably should.
Here we go. Wednesday the 10th. I have lots going on Wednesday the 10th. I call this my Astro Interesting Day as we start off, and then I got a but by blah, 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 and then by. So there's a lot going on in this day. So the first portion is the Mercury is making a conjunction to Mars. All right. This is by 7 a.m. Do we talk or do we run? Because Mars has the strength here in his own domicile, so that you can either way, it's got to move. Something has to move. Increased in mental ability for research, writing, or figuring out a puzzling question. It's getting a line straight, figuring out what it is you need to do.
And to me, Mercury conjunct Mars has the potential for things blurting out of your mouth that are agitating, and you kind of would like to take them back, but it's too late. So just kind of be careful about how fast you are to just blurt something out that maybe you wish later you could have not said.
Yeah, it's like picking a fight over nothing or barely nothing.
Yeah.
Right. This is a testy day. In fact, this begins this 1 week of irritability, rash, unpredictable issues. So I say start November 1st and start treading lightly, but with purpose. So by 11 a.m., now this Mercury is making a square to Saturn. So it's like things are taking longer than normal. It's like now we have to get into the details. If you can, like this 10th is maybe taking the day off so that you can do, because it just seems like there's so much, Mars is and Mercury are in so much action here. Long-term agreements, you need more details. There's more discoveries that need to come up to the surface. Mm-hmm. So take your time.
And if you don't take the day off, actually, I think you can use the square energy. First Mercury square Saturn and then Mars square Saturn that follows it up. Use those together. To me, it's like, nothing happens without tension. And so that's what the squares are good for us. And so to me, I'm in my mind thinking, okay, well, if you've got a really detailed plan, Mercury wants details, so does square Saturn wants real details, and you're pitching that to your boss. You want to get something done, and here's how we're going to do it. Don't be mean. Don't do that Mercury Mars thing. But here's where someone in authority you can have a discussion with and say, here, we need to do this, and here's how we're going to do it, and let's make a decision and go forward. And then when Mars squares Saturn later, then that's where the boss says, go for it. Let's do it.
Or he says no, because it's that push pull. So almost to me, this is where you're just putting something on the table and waiting for an answer another day. So, and because the first idea might be, oh my God, no, that's too much work, or that's too much time, or this, like too much. Because, when Mars is coming along and squaring Saturn, it's like, hitting a wall. It's like, go, stop, push, pull. So patience has to be practiced now. It's almost like, because Mars is in a superior square to this Saturn at this point. They were together here about a year ago when Saturn had the superior position in Aries. But it's almost like, it's like you're in training about something. It reminds me of when, you're learning, the 16-year-olds are learning to drive, and they have that sticker on the back of the car. It's like, hey, a new driver in the driver's seat, in training, in practice. That's kind of what this reminds me of. It's like you're like you've hired a trainer and you're practicing your strengthening your muscles
Yeah.
for something in the future. That's what this is to me. But anyway, Friday the 12th.
Well,
Sun.
wait, Wednesday the 10th, this Mercury, Mars, Saturn day.
Oh,
That's
yep.
when we're going to have our webinar where we talk about the Saturn Uranus square and how Mars relates to that as well. So join us for that at 5:30, and then we'll have some reading times available 7:30 to 9:30.
Yeah, let's watch how Susan and Sandy can square up and get through something, right? Maybe we just on purpose do, I'll be the Mars, you can be the Saturn, and we can like, that'd be funny. Okay, Friday the 12th, the sun is making a trine to Neptune. You need a hug? It reminds me of the song Blurred Lines, where, the sun, woo, needs to find a soothing space. Reminds me of getting a foot massage or something, that there's a signal that this is our signal that Mercury, that this Neptune is preparing to station direct in 3 weeks.
And so Sun trine Neptune says that you, the sun, are able to dream really big. And dream is the operative word with Neptune. Let her rip.
Yes.
See what you really want. See what comes up when you ask yourself, what would be my very favorite ideal situation?
It reminds me of the sun's rays where they go up like this.
Yeah.
That kind of fray of the sun's rays shooting out,
Right.
and they go into nothingness, kind of like they're blurred lines. There is no like, oh, there's the end of the sun's rays. No, you don't see it. They just kind of fade into the distance.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, how far can you go? There is no stop here. That was the day, 2 days prior to that. Saturday, the 13th, we have the Mercury making an opposition now to Uranus. Nowhere to hide. This is show up where you are least expected, and that would mean that watch for others to show up where they're least expected, or if they're expected, they may not show up. So write down all your thoughts, speaking them. It may oppose others. So this might be a day where you stay up late, intended to stay up late, because it's going to be unusually easy, because this energy is like woo 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 woo, like constant. It's like plugged in thoughts,
Yeah.
electrified thoughts.
And Mercury and Uranus are considered the Mercury is the lower octave, Uranus is the higher octave of that electricity, like you said, and communications. And so when they are in hard aspect like this, expect surprising news. It could come out of the blue.
Yeah. Yes. And you may find too, this might be a good day to like check around from Friday, that day when we said, the blurred lines. Take something, because you can have a new interest here. There's like a sudden, like, why am I all of a sudden interested in worms? I don't know why I said worms, but you may find yourself probing the internet or surfing the internet long into the night here. This is a good sign that you're finding more out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into the busiest week of the month. And we're at halfway point.
Yep.
All right. Monday, this is my favorite day of the month. So let's just start there. Sun is making a square to Jupiter at 23 degrees. And this is do what you desire. There's an adjustment here to do exactly what that is. You will have sufficient energy to do those desires with purpose. They have to have purpose. It's not just going into the bread box and finding the cookie stash. It has to be with purpose, intention. Otherwise, doing things you don't want to do are way harder. You can wait and do that on Tuesday because things become, you're gonna have more progress on Tuesday. So that's my, do exactly what you desire on this day with intention.
And I think the 2 days are really closely related, just like you were saying. Monday with the sun square Jupiter, I think is when difficulties could appear. But then Tuesday, the sun is sextile Pluto. And so I think help arrives the next day. So I see them as a combo play. If there's whatever you run into that may be hard on Monday, you have the opportunity to fix that and make it better on Tuesday.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, Tuesday is that follow through. It's that making progress. Whatever that thing was on yesterday, even those harder ones on Tuesday, they receive renewed vitality from the Pluto power.
Yeah. And then Wednesday, the 17th, you'd say it's your conflict day. It's my favorite day.
I think it's my conflict day.
And it's my favorite day because the moon is exactly conjunct Uranus. The moon is in Taurus where it is exalted. It's opposite Mars that's strong in Scorpio. And I think you can have a big change of heart with the moon conjunct Uranus, and here's out of bounds Venus trine Uranus. So I think for me, it's a lovely day to kind of clear the air. So that's my favorite day.
Well, and here I'm taking the pessimistic view now, right? And I call this hati hati, Hati, hati hati means caution in Balinese. And it's a hold tight day for me. And that's why it's my conflict day, because the Mars to the Uranus is making this opposition. It's like, how do you calm your impulses? Lashing out is not permitted today. Only eyelashing is permitted. Batting the eyelashes. That's the only lashing I am giving you permission for. The strong Mars is now visible in the sky and it's no longer combust the sun. So there's this period of being super aware and super careful at the same time. So if you listen to mine and then listen to yours, right? Yeah. You can see where that gives you this opportunity. If you're treading lightly versus impulsive, that's the crash.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you have to draw in that Venus that's trine to Uranus sextile Mars, which, is the triangle of potential. So the energy of that comes out through the Venus. Now, the only, caveat is that Venus is out of bounds. So it can behave erratically or uncontrollably.
Yeah. And that's really switching and changing. There's a lot of that going to be happening today. That's why it's my conflict day. Thursday, the 18th. Mercury now is a little bit calmer, moving into a trine to Neptune. And this is about being inspired. You can be extremely sensitive here, but in a supportive way, because this is all water, baby. There's no details here. This is all intuition. So lean to the right, because there's not going to be a whole lot of left brain details here, in my opinion.
And, if you're inclined to write poetry or inspirational memes or whatever you want to do, this is the day to do it. Even if you aren't necessarily if you've never been interested in that, you may find it just like it has to come out of you in some way on Thursday, the 18th.
That's also the same day that Venus moves into her shadow at 11 degrees of Capricorn. So she'll be here in this area between now and March 2nd when she comes out of shadow. So again, paying attention to those things that are coming out today. Then we can go to staying on Thursday, that Venus making that trine to Uranus. And this
Mhm.
is to me good things happening. This is unexpected pleasure. It's like pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, get your feet and your move your pace.
Mhm.
This is a little bit more action oriented. Susan, can I say this? It's finding your new G spot.
Ah, and see, and my notes here is out of bounds excitement over surprising money.
Whoa. Okay, let's try and mold that together, not in front of my daughter. Okay. We go to Friday, we get the full moon. Friday the 19th, the full moon at 27 degrees of Taurus. Okay, this is the lunar eclipse. We're starting the eclipse season. Here we go. This is to me, this is the partial lunar eclipse. And we will be able to see it in Americas, Australia, some parts of Europe and Asia. And it lasts for about a little over 6 hours, and which equates to about 6 months. So again, that's usually the timing of a eclipse energy. And at this point, this moon has moved away, the moon and the sun have moved away 15 degrees from that Uranus. So to me, this can still shake up contents. This is like the mixologer behind the bar, is putting some things in and mixing things together. So what do you want shaken up? Do you want it shaken or stirred? Ask for shaken.
Stirred.
You're going to get it shaken, but you're
And
still going to drink the elixir. Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure. Um, with the moon in Taurus, this is a luxury in its most visible, glorious way, where the sun is shining or the moon is reflecting the sun. But so the sun is putting light on this exalted moon that just wants to be luxurious in all things: food, drink, clothing, everything that feels fabulous, feels, tastes fabulous. This is the day for it, the full moon. In
Your new G spot. That's what
yes.
I'm talking about.
There
Yeah.
you
And
go.
this is, they only get one pass,
Yeah.
right? Because Venus is going to be going retrograde. They get really close the end of January, but no cigar because they don't get it lit.
Mhm.
So it's only one pass here. We go to Saturday the 20th, and we have Mercury making a square to Jupiter. And you have answers, is what I call here. The mind here is working overtime. Don't overlook the details. Mercury is combust here, it's really close to the sun. So great to plan or continue that big picture idea. You're able to solve problems, but you'll have a quicker and easier method in play. You may need time for it to reveal itself and simmer because Mercury is combust the sun.
And to me, it's the Jupiter influence on Mercury that may just be you're talking too much, you're spending too much, it's over the top in
Yeah.
terms of Mercury type things,
Mhm.
communications, transactions, commerce.
Yeah. And then we go to Sunday, the 21st. This is where Mercury is making a sextile to Pluto. This is like piggyback on yesterday. This is the examine and probe subject matters. Have curiosity to a pace, to kind of like poke a stick at a subject. Like get interested in something. It's learn one important fact that you can use forever. I love that when I got that. Um, and I won't share mine because we're low on time, but find one thing you can remember on this day for the rest of your life. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes.
And I want you to speak your piece. Use the power of Pluto and the sextile with Mercury to take the opportunity to say what you really mean and what is truly your deep felt core, power core comment.
Mhm. That same day by 8:34 p.m., this is Central, Sun moves into Sagittarius. Happy birthday, Sages. All seems merry and bright. So shake off that muddy, murky water from the sun moving from the fixed water sign of Scorpio and now moves into the mutable fire. So this is a step up.
Yeah. And the sun moving into Sagittarius is always a good sign to say, hey, let's try something new.
Yeah. Wednesday, the 24th, we have Mercury moving into Sagittarius. So this to me is too busy for my feet, too busy for my feet. You know, this is like a travel day. Where maybe you're going further than you did last year for Thanksgiving. And Mercury, Mercury here is in detriment. So which is described as worn and sorrowful. So, make comments that can keep you inspired here. It's like Mercury likes all the details, so it's not so good in the big picture. So don't overcommit. You're going to try and be going here and going there and all this planning. Again, too busy for my feet.
Mm-hmm. And interesting that you say Mercury is in its detriment, because the way I learned to think of planets in detriment is that it's like being at the in-laws, where you're constantly under scrutiny, which of course you might be on the day before Thanksgiving. But here's Mercury in Sag, who wants to, it could be really hard to not say what you really think with Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury in Sagittarius wants to tell the truth and blurt it out.
And too, I think Mercury in Sagittarius wants to build bridges, right? From mountaintop to like getting to the top of something and not going down to the bottom, but like building bridges. I didn't get that thought till now, but again, don't overcommit because it might be a little bit too much. Thursday, we have Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Friday, the 26th, we have Black Friday dealios. Check ours out at intentionbeads.com. Then Sunday, the 28th, we have Hanukkah.
Saturday, the 27th is our December outlook. Right here, again, on Facebook Live, 10 a.m. Central. Saturday, the 27th.
Then we pop to Sunday, the 28th.
Yes.
And this is the Hanukkah begins at sundown. Happy Hanukkah for everyone. And the sun is now Cazimi, in a superior Cazimi to Mercury and the sun are together at 6 degrees of Sagittarius at about 10:39 p.m. There is no shadow period here because Mercury is not retrograde. He is moving direct. And so this superior conjunction is when he's on the other side, and there's only a combust period. But this to me is new ideas begin to start to form because we're clearing the way for these new ideas.
Mm-hmm. And the Cazimi period is like more than 24 hours. So this weekend, the weekend after Thanksgiving is, be prepared to let those aha ideas come in and make note of them. Even if you don't do anything about them right away, and you probably won't. Just make a note of things that pop into your head, things that you notice, Mercury type things, because the Cazimi period runs from 10:19 a.m. on Sunday the 28th until 10:59 a.m. on Monday the 29th. So 24 hours and 40 minutes of potential aha ideas. And overnight, you could get messages in dreams. You could ask for messages in dreams that Sunday night and see what kind of information you get.
This is also where Mercury moves from a morning star moves with the sun and comes up as an evening star. And always during that period, that planet is a little slower to emerge out of the rays. So it is that period when they go into that the evening periods. The sun will come up, then Mercury will. So we go to Monday, the 29th. We have Mars making a trine to Neptune. And this to me is at 20 degrees, and this is search for peace. This is of the spiritual nature or of a religious nature. We don't care. No one cares, right? Use your energy to help someone. Give more than you intend. So you shall feed the masses in some way, even if you're just doing it to one person. Where your action, Mars action, very strong in Scorpio, is diluted in some way with Neptune in the water sign of Pisces that wants to help more than get. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, when you help one person, you help multiples.
Yeah.
And that's where I say you're going to feed one person, you'll feed more than you think you will.
Yeah. And for me, it's the just to piggyback on exactly what you were saying, Sandy, it's the day to take inspired action. What you believe in, this is the day to make that happen. Mm-hmm. And both in water signs, Mars and Neptune, this is something that is deeply felt by you. Water signs emote. They're about your feelings. It's about whatever. Mm-hmm. So whatever is really meaningful to you, do something to advance that cause on Monday, the 29th.
Search for peace. Yes. Tuesday, the 30th. This is our last day, but this has a lot going on this day. And we'll go through here quick, Susan. It looks like we have 9 minutes and we have to announce our winners.
That's right.
So Tuesday, the 30th, we have Mercury making a sextile to Saturn at 8 degrees. This is study it or teach it. This is sign the papers. Inquiring minds want to know. What can you commit to learning so that you can teach it one day? Gain some wisdom here.
And because it's a sextile, this won't fall into your lap. This is something you have to be proactive about. And for me, it's, Mercury and Saturn together want to put the details down in writing. Make the plan. Do something about that. And Sandy, this is your favorite day, number 2.
Yep, of course. And the Venus is also making a sextile to the Neptune. And this is the first pass. We're going to get 3 total passes. This is number 1. And this is where the mantra that I use all the time, try this out. I like you, you like me. You don't have to say it out loud. You say it to yourself, and you are changing the positive particles in your body and throwing them out to other positive particles in other people's bodies. And you will find the positivity coming back to you. And if you can start this mantra on this day, the 30th, I like you, you like me. I like you, you like me. You don't have to you can really bring more positivity to it. And this can go all the way through the end of February, if this be your morning and evening mantra, or when you get into a difficult situation. But what I also added here is bring the art of the heart into form. And you have this going on this entire period from this December all the way to really the beginning of March.
Mm-hmm. And certainly we're getting into the holiday season this first week after Thanksgiving. And Venus sextile Neptune is a great, great time to get your annual donation list out and write the checks that day.
And then our final pass of the year is get her done. As my mom would say, get her done. This is the sun making a sextile to Saturn. And this is to gain respect. It's this permits a general good feeling about order and ground that you are covering. And what do you have to say about the sun making a sextile to Saturn?
I think the sun represents leaders. Saturn represents responsibility. And the sextile says that it is time for leaders to take the opportunity to take some responsibility. It's time to get something on the schedule and take responsibility for it and make sure that it happens. So,
Do we hear that, everyone? So we end the month this way. We have 5 minutes left. Thank you for listening to us. We can sense this tense, sense the tense, but knowing that we have the upper hand by knowing it's here. Okay. All right. So I'd want you to watch this again and take any notes that we kind of went through this very quickly. But let's make our announcements. Who's our winners?
So we looked at some pictures ahead of time, and we're agreed, Sandy, on the winner. Okay.
Yes.
Pooh Bear. I don't remember who it was though. Alex, you're gonna have to help us out.
Are you here, Alex?
She's gonna share a screen. There we go.
That's our winner.
Yay.
Pregnant Pooh Bear. Or it's really not, just really, well, we know that it is, but it's like just ate a big honey pot. So congratulations. You win your webinar of choice, which is the one that's coming up in November 8th. I'm confused, right? Saturn Uranus square.
November 10, Saturn Uranus, or December 8, Jupiter in Pisces.
And Alex, show the one I chose. And mine is the Beverly Hills Girl Scout. Because I was a Girl Scout, not in Beverly Hills, but this is Troop Beverly Hills posing for us, and you win Troop 332 a monthly cheat sheet, either this one or next this month or next month. Mm-hmm. So did we get in under time? 3 minutes to go. All right.
Yay.
So Alex, you want to show your costume? Hop on.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody who's entered wins a
I wanted to make sure that everyone saw that. So the two winners, Sandy and Susan's picks, get the webinar. Also, everyone that participated gets a free astrology cheat sheet. That's this month or next month. So I will be sending those out to you, this little hippie over here. So thank you everybody for joining today. It's great to have you here. I'm going to go ahead and stop my share so you can see more of my wonderful costume. But
okay, the real question, Alex, is if you've got bell-bottom jeans on.
No, but I have bell-bottom arms. Does that kind of count? Yes. So thank you, everybody. And I did participate in the back end, getting all of this together with my glasses on. So extra points for me.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'm going to have Sandy and Susan sign out, but I will be sending out those free gifts to you all via Facebook or email. Thanks.
Thanks.
And so since we have about another minute left, we talked about our two webinars that are coming up in November and December. We talked about our December forecast that is on November 27th. Yeah, it's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Yes, we know, and we are still here. But we want to kind of start getting in your calendar the Saturday of December 18.
Right.
This is pretty early on, but we're going to be doing the year ahead for 2022. early this year, because Christmas is on a Saturday and then New Year's Day is on a Saturday, and I'll be starting my peace train retreat in Mexico on the 1st. So we had to back it up into the 18th. It's a 2-hour, and we will have gifts and prizes. We always do that for the beginning of the year. It's a 2-hour. We'll be going over the entire year quickly, and then spending an hour just on January. So make sure you set that up. That is at 10 o'clock Central on the 18th of December for 2 hours. So make sure you get your cheat sheet for that. And for those who sent in your pictures, you get a free one. Particularly if you've already bought the November one. So anyway, Alex will send that out. But here we are at 11 o'clock.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Be
Let
safe.
the sun shine this month.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.